What if the only thing standing between you and the life you hunger for is the story you've been whispering to yourself since you were young? What if the limits you feel pressing against your chest aren't walls at all, but beliefs you never chose? And what if, right here, right now, you could choose again? Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt a dream inside you, so big it scared you? So fierce it refused to die, no matter how many times you tried to bury it? Then why are you still waiting? The transformation story. Proof that belief creates reality. Let me take you deeper into a story. One that might feel uncomfortably familiar. One that might reflect the shadows and the hopes inside your own heart. Because sometimes we need to see a transformation in someone else before we dare to believe it's possible within ourselves. The story of Daniel. A life rewritten by belief. There was a man named Daniel. Have you ever known someone who looked alive on the outside? But inside, they were quietly dying. That was Daniel. Every morning, he woke up with a heaviness he couldn't explain. A heaviness built from years of hearing. You'll never amount to anything. You're a disappointment. You're just not smart enough. And the most painful part? It wasn't that others said it. It was what he believed it was. Have you ever believed a lie about yourself for so long that it started to feel like the truth? Daniel worked a job that drained him. He kept his head down. He spoke softly so he wouldn't draw attention. He apologized for things that weren't his fault. He dimmed his light so no one could criticize him for shining. But here's the turning point. One day, after losing yet another opportunity to someone less qualified but more confident, he sat alone in his car. He gripped the steering wheel until his knuckles turned white. And he asked himself, maybe for the first time in his life, a question that cracked his world open. What if they were wrong about me and I've been wrong about me too? Had you ever felt that moment, that tiny spark of rebellion against the limits you've carried for years? That question became Daniel's awakening. The shift begins, one new belief. The next day, he did something radical. He wrote down a new belief on a piece of paper and taped it to his bathroom mirror. I am capable. I am worthy. I deserve to rise. No. Did it feel fake at first? Absolutely. But do you know what he said? I believed the lie long enough. Let me try believing the truth for once. What if you allowed yourself to do the same? The action that changes everything. With his new belief swirling in his chest, Daniel took one bold step. He applied for a leadership program within his company. The old Daniel would have talked himself out of it. But this Daniel, the one fueled by a new truth, pressed submit. When he walked into the interview, his voice didn't shake like it used to. His shoulders didn't curl inward. He met their eyes. He spoke with conviction. And for the first time in his life, he felt like the world was listening, not because he was louder, but because he finally believed what he was saying. Have you ever noticed how the world responds differently when you show up differently? The transformation. Belief takes root. Daniel didn't just get accepted. He excelled. Within a year, he had risen to a director role. He became the mentor he once needed. He began speaking at events to help others break through their limiting beliefs. But here's the part of the story I want you to hear clearly. Daniel didn't change because of luck. He didn't change because circumstances magically shifted. He didn't change because someone rescued him. He changed because he chose a new belief, and then he lived into it, day after day, moment after moment, until that belief became his identity. Let me ask you, if Daniel could rewrite his entire life by changing what he believed about himself, what's stopping you from doing the same? The lesson. Belief shapes destiny. Belief is the seed. Action is the soil. Consistency is the sunlight. Your life is the harvest. So ask yourself right now, what belief could transform your world if you truly embraced it? What life could you create if you believed deeply, fully, undeniably that you deserve more than the scraps you've been accepting? Your transformation begins the moment you choose to believe something new. And the moment you do, your reality will rise to meet it. The truth about belief, the invisible force. Do you realize that belief is not just a thought you think, but a force that shapes your entire destiny? Have you ever noticed how two people with the same talent and opportunities produce completely different lives? Why one rises and one falls? Could it be that belief is the silent architect behind every decision, every risk, every comeback? Belief is the electricity behind action. Belief is the spark behind courage. Belief is the seed that grows into the life you live. And if beliefs hold that much power, what beliefs have you been watering? The cycle of limiting beliefs, the prison you can't see. Let me ask you another question. Have you ever caught yourself saying, I'm not enough, or I could never do that, as if those words were facts carved in stone? What if those phrases were never true? What if they were just old stories handed to you, not created by you? Because here's how it works. A belief creates a behavior. A behavior creates a result. And the result reinforces the belief. Have you ever seen that loop running your life like a program? I'm not smart enough. I'm too late. I'm too broken. If you believe something different, would your life look different too? The Science Plus Cell of Belief. Rewiring your identity. Science tells us your brain is continually rewiring itself. Did you know that your thoughts carve new neural pathways? Did you know your beliefs shape your perception of the world? If the brain changes based on what you repeatedly tell it, then what if you started telling it a different story? What if you let emotion, not fear, fuel your new identity? You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the labels others placed on you. So the real question is, who are you choosing to become today? The 3 steps to change your beliefs. Today's step 1. Interrupt the pattern. Have you ever noticed how a limiting belief sneaks into your mind like a whisper in the dark, quiet, familiar, persuasive? Have you ever felt that moment when doubt slips in before you even realize it's there? What if the first step toward transformation is simply catching the thief in the act? Because every belief, especially the ones that keep us small, runs on autopilot. It's a loop, a script, a well-worn path carved into the mind over years of repetition. And if you never interrupt it, how can you ever escape it? So let me ask you, what thoughts are you allowing to run unchecked? What stories do you repeat without questioning their truth? And how long have you been accepting them as your identity? Interrupting the pattern means awakening. It means snapping out of the trance. It means hearing the old belief rise up and saying, no, not today. It's a conscious pause, a breath, a spark of awareness breaking through the fog. Imagine the moment you catch yourself thinking, I'm not enough. What if you didn't let the sentence finish? What if you interrupted it the instant it appeared? Imagine saying, stop. That's not my voice. That's not my truth. Can you feel the power in that? Interrupting the pattern is the moment you reclaim the steering wheel of your mind. It's the moment the automatic becomes intentional. It's the moment the old story begins to crumble. Ask yourself, who told me this belief was true? Where did this story begin? And most importantly, does it deserve a place in my life anymore? Because the moment you question a limiting belief, it loses its authority. It loses its grip. Awareness is the doorway to transformation, but you must walk through it. You must stay awake. You must be willing to catch the pattern before it pulls you back into the same old life. Interrupt the thought. Break the cycle. Because once you interrupt the pattern, you create space. Space for a new belief. Space for a new identity. Space for the life you are meant to live. Are you ready to interrupt the story that has held you back for years? Are you ready to awaken? Step 2. Replace the lie with an empowering truth. When you interrupt the old belief, when you catch it in your hands like a fragile, fading echo, what comes next? Do you leave the space empty, waiting for the old lie to return? Or do you fill it with something stronger, something truer, something that breathes life into your soul? Because here's the secret. A lie can only survive in the absence of truth. And for too long, haven't you allowed those lies to speak louder than your own heart? Let me ask you this. What lie have you been living under? What story have you let define your worth? And what would happen, truly happen, if you replaced it with a belief that lifted you instead of limiting you? Replacing the lie isn't just positive thinking. It's identity rebuilding. It's soul restoration. It's choosing with courage to shift the very lens through which you see yourself. You've said, I'm not enough. But what if the real truth is, I am more capable than I've ever allowed myself to believe? You've said, I always fail. But what if the truth is, every setback has shaped me, strengthened me, prepared me? You've said, I don't deserve happiness. But what if the truth is, I am worthy simply because I exist? So let me ask you again, what truth are you afraid to claim? What belief would liberate you if you dared to speak it out loud? Replacing the lie means picking a new internal anthem. It means choosing a belief that aligns with the future you want, not the past you survived. It means speaking words that feel uncomfortable at first, because they stretch you, elevate you, pull you forward. Can you feel the power in saying, I am enough? Can you sense the courage in whispering, I can change? Can you imagine the transformation in declaring, I was born for something greater? This is not wishful thinking. This is the beginning of rewriting your identity. Your brain listens, your body responds, your life shifts accordingly. But the question is, are you willing to practice this truth until it becomes your new normal? Are you willing to wear this belief like armor until the world starts reflecting it back to you? You've carried the lie long enough. Now it's time to carry the truth. Replace the false story with the one your soul has been waiting to hear. Replace the wound with a declaration of healing. Replace the fear with a belief that sets your spirit free. Because when you choose a truth that empowers you, you become unstoppable. So tell me, what truth will you claim today? Step 3, condition it daily. You've interrupted the old pattern. You've replaced the lie with a powerful truth. But let me ask you the real question now. How do you make this new belief stick? How do you transform it from a spark into a blazing fire that lights your entire life? Because one moment of clarity is beautiful, but a lifetime of transformation requires conditioning. Just like a muscle grows through repetition, your new belief grows through daily nourishment. So ask yourself, what rituals are you willing to commit to? What practices will you return to when doubt tries to creep in again? And when the old story resurfaces, as it sometimes will, what will you do? Conditioning your belief means showing up for your future self every single day. It means speaking your new truth, not once, not occasionally, but relentlessly, until it becomes the rhythm of your heartbeat. Can you start your mornings with a reminder of who you're becoming? Can you look in the mirror and speak to yourself with the conviction you reserve for others? Can you choose to move your body in a way that matches your new identity? Because your physiology is a doorway to your psychology. Stand tall. Your mind rises with you. Breathe deeply. Your courage awakens. Move with energy. Your belief grows stronger. Ask yourself, if I truly believe this new truth, how would I walk? How would I speak? How would I live today? Conditioning is not about perfection. It's about repetition. It's about choosing your truth again and again, especially on the days it feels hardest. It's about forging new neural pathways until your brain says, this is who we are now. Every affirmation is a brick. Every decision is a reinforcement. Every act of courage is a signal to your soul that you are rising. Imagine what would happen if you gave just 1% more each day. Imagine how your life would expand if you watered your beliefs the way you water your fears. Imagine the strength of a truth you revisit every sunrise. So let me ask you, are you willing to practice your new belief like a craft? Like a habit? Like a sacred commitment to yourself? Condition it daily through your words. Condition it daily through your actions. Condition it daily through gratitude, through movement, through the choices you make when no one is watching. Because the greatest transformations don't happen in an instant. They happen in the steady, quiet, unshakable commitment to becoming who you were always meant to be. And when you do this, when you condition your new truth day after day, you won't just believe the life you want is possible, you'll live it. So tell me, what will you practice today? And who will you become because of it? Visualization. Step into your empowered self. Close your eyes for a moment. What would your life look like if you lived from your new belief? Can you see that version of yourself standing taller, speaking louder, loving deeper? Can you hear your future voice saying, I made it? Can you feel the power in your chest right now? Rising, expanding, awakening. What if this vision isn't a fantasy, but a preview? The final call, your turning point is now. So let me ask you one last question. What will your life look like a year from now if you start today? And what will it look like if you don't? You are the author of your future. You have the pen. You have the power. You have always had the power. So what do you choose to believe right now, in this moment? What belief will you breathe into your bones? What truth will you carry into tomorrow? This is your line in the sand. This is your invitation. This is your turning point. Are you ready to rewrite your story today?